Zimbabwe Army chief's trip to China last week raises questions on coup. When one of the architects of Zimbabwe's low-key coup landed in Beijing last week, he was met by two of the most senior members of the world's largest military force. Read more following the link in the video description. China appears to have crossed Trump on North Korea. After a 12-day trip to Asia in which President Donald Trump stressed his friendship and mutual understanding with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Beijing appears to have crossed Trump on a key issue, North Korea. Read more following the link in the video description. China's Baidu just announced the strangest smart speakers. Chinese internet Baidu is widely credited for being one of the first to dive deep into artificial intelligence, hiring Coursera co-founder Andrew Ng, who has since departed, to lead its efforts back in 2014. Read more following the link in the video description. It's a mistake to underestimate China. Beijing. At the recent APEC CEO summit in Vietnam, President Donald Trump said the United States would refocus its existing development efforts in Asia toward infrastructure investment that promotes economic growth. While the room was full of hundreds of corporate and government officials from the region and around the world, Trump was delivering his remarks to an audience of one, China. "We are committed to reforming our development finance institutions so that they better incentivize private sector investment in your economies and provide strong alternatives to state-directed initiatives that come with many strings attached," he said. But there are few signs that Washington has the political appetite to compete with the kinds of investments China has been making around the world. The most visible aspect of Beijing's ambition to extend its economic and political influence around the world is the Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure plan that aims to connect China to its Asian neighbors and farther afield. Think of it as a hub-and-spoke model. China, the hub, builds infrastructure in countries around the world, the spokes, in order to facilitate trade. China is building roads, bridges, seaports, and airports in more than 60 countries to facilitate the import of raw material in order to further fuel its own economic growth while it searches for new markets. Unlike the West, China offers cheap loans, doesn't ask questions about human rights or the environment, and doesn't export its political ideology. Read more following the link in the video description.